The main match sponsor this afternoon, Ideal Standards, the associate...
Hull City are hurting. Once they were dreaming of Europe, but now Phil Brown could well face the drop. Time is running out for Liverpool's title quest too, but they just refuse to give it up, no matter what happens. Rafa's men must win today though, and they're without their captain who rescued them against Hull City at Anfield earlier this season. It's Hull City against Liverpool at the KC. Radio, yeah. Good afternoon from East Yorkshire. Daniel Mann and Dean Sturridge here on an occasion that is likely to have huge bearing on the key battles at both ends of the Barclays Premier League. Liverpool simply cannot afford to drop any more points, no matter how dramatically, while Hull must produce one of the most memorable results in their history. Currently precariously placed and lacking any sort of momentum. If it wasn't for the shortcomings of others, they would be in even deeper trouble. One win in 17 Premier League matches. Liverpool have cornered the market in footballing dramas of late, and this title race has certainly been full of it. At one stage they were 7 points clear of United, 7 points behind them early in March. You just wouldn't rule anything out. And it's their first visit here to Hull City's opulent home at the KC Stadium. Meanwhile, they desperately hope on Humberside that they'll be welcoming them again next season. One thing is certain, their destiny is still in their own hands. It hasn't quite been home sweet home for Hull City this season. Only Stranraer in the whole of the English and Scottish leagues have a worse record on their own ground, but they do need to produce today. Let's take a look at the teams, and two changes for Hull from defeat at Sunderland. Nick Barmby returns to face the club where he won a cup treble. Caleb Folan comes in for his first Premier League start since August in attack. Manucho makes way. Andy Dawson has failed a late fitness test, so Kevin Kilban plays at left back, while Richard Garcia returns to the bench after injury. Liverpool are without Steven Gerrard for another week. Lucas will fill his role behind Torres, as he did at Chelsea in the Champions League. One of three changes from the latest 4-4 thriller against Arsenal. Martin Skirtle and Emiliano Insua also come in. Daniel Agger, Fabio Aurelio and Albert Riera are only substitutes. Phil Brown says it's the ideal sort of fixture for his Hull City team at the moment. Won't need any lifting for this prospect, facing the 18-time English champions, 5-time kings of Europe. Hull City in their first season at this level, in these exalted climes. And it is Liverpool's first visit to this sparkling new arena, the KC, in the sunshine this afternoon. And it is a terrific prospect because there is so much meaning on this match. A draw really isn't a particularly good result for either side, better certainly for Hull. And certainly they're trying to raise the atmosphere to a frenzy. The two captains, Jamie Carragher, George Boateng, never been relegated in his career. And he's not out for that to change in the coming weeks. Referee Martin Atkinson today. Well, Fernando Torres, he's one away from 50 Liverpool goals. Milestone in prospect for him, having been a real thorn in Arsenal's side in the week. Martin Atkinson, our referee this afternoon, gets us underway. No margin for error, certainly in Liverpool's case. They must keep the pressure high on Manchester United, who are in action later on against Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford. While for Hull City, it's all about getting enough points on the board to steer clear of the drop, having been riding high in a potential European place for so long in the first part of the season. A draw would probably be well received today, as it would allow them to keep their heads above water. But such is their lack of momentum in recent weeks that the drop has become a major possibility, Dean Sturridge.
Well, obviously it has, but I'm sure Phil Brown and his troops will just close ranks and say, OK, we're a breath of fresh air in the first 3-4 months of the season. We're in a bit of free fall. And people are talking us down and saying, we told you so, we knew they were going to get relegated. But I feel they've still got a great opportunity, and if they can be successful and stay in the Premier League, it's been a great season for them. In terms of Liverpool, they're obviously not going to get much respite. Liverpool are in scintillating form, playing confident football and scoring a lot of goals.
The shackles are certainly off at the moment. This is Dirk Kuyt, starting on the right-hand side. Lucas in that role, in behind Torres from the outset. Certainly that's the way we anticipated it to pan out.
And it seems to be that way. A little bit of a surprise with Benayoun doing so well in the week behind Torres, just in that hold position. And you know that Dirk Kuyt likes to play in this wide area, feels more comfortable, and he's very selfless for his teammates.
Skirtle winning that particular battle. This is Fagan. Folan, who's a veteran of that relegation battle with Wigan, which was won on the last day a couple of seasons ago.
It's a great atmosphere. Can rest assured in that, and if Hull can start confidently and start passing the ball about, well, then you just never know.
Nick Barmby with a part to play today, one of Liverpool's most controversial signings in their history from Everton, out to ensure they fall short in the title race again. It's Giovanni to flight it in. Comfortably dealt with. Benayoun, who's been one of Liverpool's best players in the last couple of months. Torres, who's always one of those who is at the top of his game when fit. And his absences have been many this season, though.
Yeah, well, he was in full flight there and he just got impeded. It was 2-on-1.
Count offside from the resulting free kick. It was the time when the Player of the Year awards are being handed out. You might describe Dirk Kuyt as the professional of the year, because he's been playing in a role he would never have wished to, and he's made it his own, and he's been as prolific in front of goal as he's ever been in a Liverpool shirt.
Well, we just look at this little injury that Torres has got. He's just walking around a little gingerly from it. Boateng just on the top there, that's where you get the metatarsal injuries. So hopefully he can just run that injury off.
And George Boateng filling the void that's left at the moment by Ian Ashby, the Hull captain, who's suspended. Young Insua getting another opportunity in the left-back role for Liverpool today. Folan's last league start for Hull ended in a 5-0 defeat here against Wigan. Turner always makes his aerial presence felt, but he was beaten to it by Carragher.
You just feel with the inclusion of Caleb Folan, it's fresh legs up front, a little change. Obviously Giovanni's their top goal scorer, but they need somebody else to supplement that. They have Daniel Cousin on the bench with 4 goals, but there's not many others. Manucho has a couple and he's on the bench, but they need to start scoring goals again. That's what's going to keep them in this Premier League. Okay, keeping clean sheets, but they need to get back on the goal-scoring trail.
Only Wigan have scored fewer at home than Hull City this year. 3 wins only, Fulham, West Ham and Middlesbrough. And that one against Middlesbrough over 4 months ago now. Here's Carragher, who's played at the old Boothbury Park for Liverpool.
Yeah, I remember that stadium. I've played there also. This KC Stadium's a little bit better than that and got a much better atmosphere, if I'm being honest. It's a great day. I think for the Hull City fans, they'll think it's a no-lose situation in some ways. We were expected to lose against Liverpool. We hope our team can just go out there with the shackles off, express themselves and play to the best of their abilities. And if we can get a draw or a win out of it, we'll take that and we'll take it with open arms.
And so far play largely condensed in Liverpool territory. Well, that might break here. Folan trying to wrestle a bit of space. Couldn't succeed, but he'll come out to Boateng. Fagan hassled off it by Mascherano. That policing job he does so well, probably better than anybody.
It was a decent opportunity for Caleb Folan. It's good defending, but I think that would be the slight frustration in the first 5 or so minutes of this game for Phil Brown. The first set piece, Giovanni hits the front man, and then they're in a good area, in a good situation, they don't get a shot off on target.
It certainly has been a bright start from the home side. Martin Skirtle up there. It's Mascherano. Not particularly subtle. Zayat underneath it, though, because Torres was the target. This is Benayoun. Oh, beautifully done. And he'll fall for Torres! Well, an important save, that.
A brilliant save. It's such a fingertip save from Boaz Moyel. The first opportunity is to Yossi Benayoun. It's a great driving run, and then he just dummies Michael Turner, and Turner gets a decent blocking, and then the opportunity to force to Torres, but it's a great touch from Moyel.
Well, that's how dangerous Liverpool can be. But Boateng there as the corner doesn't beat the first man. Here's Benayoun. Seen what he can do. Alonso. Corner given. Barmby felt a different decision should have been made.
Yeah, he felt shouldn't have been a corner. Just going back to the chance, I think. Torres is just aiming just to put it back across from where the keeper's coming from. But it was a great reaction from Moyel.
Alonso in there, Boateng in there once again. But suddenly it's Liverpool who are very much on top, and Insua's delivery, Turner's header. Xabi Alonso, who of course thought early in the season he played his last game for Liverpool with the Gareth Barry saga that seemed to drag on, but what a season he has had.
He's had an exceptional season. He just sets the tempo in there, doesn't he? And just looks for those defence-splitting passes for his strikers. I'm sure Fernando Torres loves playing with him. You're going to miss the influence of Gerrard, so he's going to be the one in that midfield area that you're looking for him to just create those defence-splitting passes for his attacking players.
Here is Alonso. So often the unlocker of doors.
I think you've seen already so early in the game the difference between the two sides in terms of Hull having good possession, in terms of Caleb Folan and him not getting a shot in, whereas Ben Ayoun in the Liverpool attack, a shot that's blocked, and then eventually it falls to Torres and he hits the target, and it forces a very good save from the keeper.
This is Lucas in more familiar territory. Mascherano, Kaut. Really has established himself in that right-sided role this season, much to the likes of Ryan Babel's chagrin. Ben Ayoun. Oh, the slip could prove costly. Ben Ayoun!
Well, he's in a rich vein of form. He's got a lot of goals at the moment, and you can see he's brimming with confidence. Just cuts inside of his defender and just gives him the slip, and he's just looking for that far corner. You can see what's in his mind. He's not far away.
Well, confidence obviously flowing through his veins to try something like that from Yossi Ben Ayoun. Showed great bravery as well, didn't he, with the first of his 2 goals at Anfield in midweek. Barnby wins the free kick. He was something of the meat in the sandwich there.
Well, that's what Hull need to do, just dust themselves down a little bit. They've had good possession already at the start of this game. As Martin Atkinson just has a little word with Mascherano, who argues the point slightly.
He does tend to like to have the last word, doesn't he, Javier Mascherano? Does cost him occasionally.
What you'd want now is a little bit of a better ball than the last one from Giovanni. Just ask a little question or two of the Liverpool defence and Pepe Reina.
And something a little different. Maybe Giovanni will try and deliver this time. And once again, disappointing set piece, to say the least, for Phil Brown.
It is, because you're in a good area and you just want to put the opposition under a little bit of pressure, and they've failed to do so.
Maybe there'll be something for them here, although Arbeloa has got the situation under control for Liverpool. Giovanni, the man who could well provide the spark for Hull, but crowded out. Mascherano and Lucas between them doing the job.
Well, I think it's for the challenge on Lucas, not the latter one on Torres, where the ref blows his whistle for.
There's always a war of words at this time of year between the 2 title contenders. Whether it actually has any great effect on what goes on out there on the field is one to debate, perhaps.
Well, the managers obviously think they have major input, and they're trying to get the psychological edge. But I think for the players, once you cross that white line, that's all out of the window.
Torres trying to whistle his way away from Kamil Zayat. He's taken his life into his own hands a bit here, but got away with it.
Yeah, in the end you have to say it's very composed defending.
Folan up against Carragher. Folan gets the decision. And Zayat, yes, we would call it composed defending, I suppose, and Phil Brown might call it taking an almighty risk.
Well, it may have been heart-in-mouth time for him and maybe for some of his teammates, but I think that was the epitome of Hull early in the season. They played with a carefree attitude, so hopefully that will spread through the team.
Turner rises successfully this time. And Zayat up against Torres. Zayat was fouled on this occasion.
Just backing in there, Torres. Just trying to earn a yard for himself. He gets pulled up for it.
He's already had the best opening of the match. No great surprise in that. Can go a long way in a game. He's usually at the heart of it, mind, the way Liverpool have been playing lately, but if he does get a chance, he tends to take it. Reina! with a important claim amidst the flying feet.
Well, he smothered it, Pepe Reina, for a moment. I thought he was going to get away from his grasp. It's a decent ball in by Craig Fagan at the near post.
Well, Nick Barmby was talking about it, the point you mentioned a little earlier, Dean, about getting back to that way of playing with no fear, which they were really lacking. They had no fear whatsoever. They took every task in their stride in the early part of the season. Here's Marnie, shooting space. Folan was an option as well.
Well, belatedly, Jamie Carragher comes out to close him. Decent play from Giovanni, who slips it into Marnie, and then eventually the challenge, and he tries to get a block in, Jamie Carragher, and that just puts off Dean Marnie, and he kind of, you know, cuts across the attempt in the end.
Another test for Pepe Reina, who hasn't had to produce in the same manner that Myhill did at the other end to deny Fernando Torres. Here's Skirtle. Hull did, of course, race into a 2-0 lead early on at Anfield in the reverse fixture before Steven Gerrard pegged them back. All the goals in the first half on that occasion.
Well, as silly as it sounds, they are in a precarious position in the league. But for today's game, they can relax and express themselves. And for them, for the good record that they've got against the top 4 sides in the league, it'll be an opportunity just to say, OK, people are writing us off, but this is what we're made of.
They picked up points against 3 of them and scored 3 goals at Old Trafford, didn't they? Drew at Stamford Bridge, 1 at the Emirates. Here's Mascherano. Xavi Alonso. Carragher. Played in that Boothbury Park match 10 years ago. It was a 5-1 win for Liverpool on that occasion. Eric Meyer among the goals with 2. Danny Murphy, a double as well. And Steve Staunton.
That is rolling back the years. I'm just about old enough.
Youngster on the bench who they thought had a bit of promise by the name of Steven Gerrard. Didn't get on that day, though.
The rest is history, as they say.
And Lucas with a slip, but recovered. Alonso, Mascherano. Barmby biting and winning, and Marnie will pick it up. His game time has been rationed, Nick Barmby, but particularly game at the Emirates in the FA Cup where he showed some of his old quality.
Here's a player they're going to use, obviously, in the intensity of the Premier League sporadically, and I think Phil Brown knows that, and Nicky Barmby knows that himself.
Well, Sam Ricketts to wind one up again. Real part of the Hull armoury. Turner lurking on the near post again. Didn't quite get there. Giovanni will, it's a terrific strike! He can hit a ball, and that wasn't that far away.
Well, he's known for his spectacular efforts, and that's what this is. It's great technique. He keeps over it, and it's got Pepe Reina very worried. It's arrowing towards that top corner, and it's not far away.
Although his time at Manchester City ended a little disappointingly. He had his place in folklore for the goal against Manchester United, of course. He's already got a place in Hull City folklore this season.
That's why I feel how they use him is very interesting. I feel you've got to get him as close to around that penalty box as possible. Sometimes he plays in wide areas, sometimes he plays off a front man. But I feel as their top goal scorer, and you need to get him around that penalty area as much as possible.
Arbeloa, Benayoun looking to get there. It's Zayat who shuts the door, at least momentarily. But Skirtle will win it, and Liverpool can come back here. Barmby, who showed great industry already and hunger to win back possession. Boateng switches on for Ricketts. Neat interchange with Fagan. 2 in the area. Arbeloa up there. Boateng trying to get there, but his foot was up. Free kick.
It was an interesting header from Alvaro Arbeloa, just to head it down to the edge of his own penalty box. It was a late challenge, It's good play from Boateng just to spread it out wide.
Well, Pepe Reina looking to prove playmaker again, seeking out Fernando Torres instantly. It's a tactic they've used with great effect in recent matches.
But it is, they've always started games quickly, and I think their general play is they like to play on the counter-attack, and that's when they're at their most threatening. And Torres is at the spearhead of that.
Ricketts has done well there in Suar's header. Bambi and Boateng on different wavelengths. Mane will be penalised for that challenge. And Liverpool trying to get the game started too quickly for the referee's liking there.
Well, it's such a good tempo, and you hope the referee will keep the whistle away from his mouth enough just to allow the game to flow, because you've got players out there who are looking to express themselves.
Here's Mascherano. Lucas. Insua. He's impressed when he's had the opportunity at left back. Remember him having a terrific game up at Blackburn earlier in the season.
He's an Argentinian under-20 captain and an international of high quality that a lot's thought of. Obviously it shows how ruthless Rafa Benitez is. Aurelio made a mistake in midweek, and he doesn't get another opportunity at the weekend to rectify that.
Well, is there a worse man to make a mistake in front of than Andre Arshavin? He scored 4 goals at Anfield, of course, in midweek, Andre Arshavin. Last time an opposition player did that at Anfield, Liverpool went on to win the league by a point from Manchester United. Dennis Westcott, 1946 for Wolves.
Wow. Another statistic is Liverpool losing 2 games, and any team losing 2 games in a Premier League season normally win it. So there's a few stats that point towards them, but at the moment they're still chasing Man United, who need to make a few mistakes.
Hull could maybe bring about one of those mistakes because they face United on the final day. Be a good idea to get safe beforehand, I would have thought. That's Turner dealing with Torres. Well, Phil Brown was begging for a free kick for a foul on Folan by Skrtel, and he'll get his wish.
To the home fans' pleasure, you feel any kind of decision, any kind of attack is going to really buoy this home crowd, and that's what these whole players need to do. Just play at a high tempo, play with confidence, create opportunities, and you just never know what could happen at the end of this 90 or so minutes.
90+ minutes it is with Liverpool, isn't it?
Well, it always is. They've got such a great record of scoring so many late goals.
Well, they didn't have to deal with that, but touch off Arbeloa.
There's no communication between him and Skrtel.
Well, Fagan is going to go in on the goal line. Zayat, Turner, Folan there as well. Is the delivery good? It's towards Mane. Where will it drop? Well, Liverpool escaped because Mane won the first header.
Well, there's been so much talked about man for man, zonal. Mane wins the header, and he could have dropped down to a whole player. Thankfully for the Liverpool red shirts, it fell to one of them, and they eventually cleared.
It's where you feel Liverpool are get-atable, if that's a phrase you can use. Xabi Alonso. Benayoun. Mane. There's real insatiable appetite about Hull at the moment. Fagan overcooking it, but there's a real sense of uncertainty at the back at the moment. Arbeloa particularly.
Yeah, very nervous defending from him again. He had the option of heading it towards Pepe Reina, declined that. You can see his goalkeeper there giving him the information to head it back to him.
Well, Fagan doing his job in blocking off the goalkeeper, but Liverpool saw it out. Here's Boateng. Good spell this for Hull, but you feel they have to make the most of it.
Definitely true, Daniel, in terms of when you're on the front foot or when you're playing confidently, you need to take advantage of it. Hull know they won't get many opportunities, and when they arise, you have to take them.
That's an emphatic header by Carragher, who had the run on Turner. But Liverpool just can't get out.
Well, I feel both teams have started well in sorts in terms of the Benayoun and Torres opportunity. Caleb Folan has looked a threat. They've looked a threat from set pieces also.
Well, Turner did get up. Wasn't a header that was ever going to really test Reina.
It was one of those headers where he was looking for a teammate just to be making a run off him.
Well, Giovanni was alive to that. And we saw Ricketts lose his footing earlier. Giovanni there. Barmby's ball in. Important that Insua read the situation.
Well, there's much to encourage. The yellow and black stripes, because at the moment Liverpool look far from comfortable defensively.
Well, they are fighting like tigers at the moment, aren't they? And it's a fight which they're in a decent position in at the moment, but it's despite recent results rather than because of them. Into Benayoun, and now Lucas, shooting chance for him. Yet to score in the Premier League, Lucas.
Well, you've probably seen why with the effort. Got himself into a good area. Good interplay again around the 18-yard box. Whenever Liverpool get into those areas, they look very threatening. And he just choked his shot again. And didn't test Boaz Myhill. But you feel both sides are getting themselves into good situations and good areas of the field, but just not taking advantage of it up to this point.
It's Turner's header. Arbeloa, this time a little more secure. Also was caught napping a little by Andrei Arshavin in the week. Starting to think who wasn't. Here's Alonso. Lucas, Benayoun. Giovanni winning that challenge. Folan needs support to arrive. Giovanni. That's Fagan. Involved in the tangle there with Carragher, who seemed to bite back for a moment there.
It was 6 and 2 threes. Martin Atkinson made a decent decision.
Yeah, just a coming together. Ricketts with a hungry challenge there on Dirk Kuyt. Alonso. Kuyt. Alonso. Insua. One good delivery already. It's not a bad one, but Lucas beaten to it. And Nick Barmby, you can tell he's really fired up for this one. Arbeloa. Xabi Alonso. Never lost to Hull, Liverpool. 13 meetings before. Last one in the league. Bill Shankly was in his early days as a manager at Anfield. Here's Insua. Away by Zayat. Now Giovanni to lead the charge. Fagan to help him. Boateng. Marnie. Sam Ricketts. Now Barmby against Carragher. He's fed Folan here. Marnie wanted it, but the layoff didn't arrive.
It was brilliant play from Nicky Barmby. His running off the ball was exceptional.
Well, Zayat will get the free kick there, and it's just as well he did. And Benayoun picking up possession.
Well, otherwise it would have been 2v1, and Fernando Torres is arguing the point. He feels that Zayat has gone down very easily, and I tend to agree with him.
Comfortable for Reina. There have been the odd occasions where it's not been at all comfortable for the Liverpool back four in this match so far.
You just wonder if those couple of changes in Insua has been very, very good going forward. With Skirtle coming in and maybe Arbeloa with the mistake in midweek, but there's definitely uncertainty back there.
We're talking about earlier in the season, those draws that cost them at Anfield. They were almost stifled by the caution of Rafa Benitez. Now the shackles seem to be off a little. It's had an effect at the other end, hasn't it?
Well, it's catch-22 for him. It's one extreme to the other, and I'm sure he's a little bit perplexed by what's going on. He'll be saying, you see, I should be going back to the cautious Rafa Benitez from early in the season and looking for 1-0 victories. And I'm sure it's exciting for the fans, but for him as a manager, he'll be a little bit disappointed with how many goals his team are conceding at the moment, and he'll definitely want to put a stop to that.
In the final analysis, it's probably not going to be the goals that they've conceded during recent weeks that are going to be the problem. It is the drop points at home to a Fulham, a Stoke, a West Ham that are really going to cost them dear if they don't win this league title.
And that's the complexity of the situation. People will say if you'd had the shackles off earlier in the season, we would be top of the league.
Here's Arbeloa. Lucas. Kevin Kilban dealing with him in that left-back position. Now then. Not 100% for Reina. Where's that going to drop? There's all sorts of spin on it. Skirtle won it, though. Boateng. Wants handball. It's fallen for Mascherano, and now Lucas. Kaut. Insua with space to move into.
You feel that's an area that he'll have to be very careful. He's got to the byline on 2 or 3 occasions already. So Sam Ricketts really has to be on his game because he looks very good going forward in Insua.
Alonso. Benayoun. Kaut. On his right foot. Deflection took much of the threat out of it.
I think it was Nicky Barmby who may have just got the block in, gets away from him initially, but good defensive qualities there from the midfielder just to get the block in from the shot from Dirk Kuyt.
Martin Atkinson looking to clamp down on Folan and Torres' little battle here. Skirtle coming in. Yes, driven back with venom, but not really any accuracy at all from Emiliano Insua.
Well, it's a difficult one for him. He has every right to take the effort on. But when it's just bouncing just in front of you on the half volley, it's very difficult to keep down.
Well, a good show from the whole City support and a good show from their team so far, but Liverpool equally have looked likely to muster plenty of threat as we expected. Count goes up. Zayat and Torres renew acquaintances, and this time it's Torres who'll get a free kick, which the whole man felt was cheap rather than the other way around.
Would have had a few little battles already in the course of this game. Felt this was more shoulder to shoulder. And just like Fernando Torres said, Zayat went down easily earlier. And so Zayat will be saying much the same on that occasion.
Well, this free kick is in a much more threatening position than the one Fernando Torres was complaining about before. Torres did meet it in Suar's free kick. It'll fall for Count here. Dean Marnie with the uncertain clearance. Arbeloa, and now Insua. He's made good progress here. Then Marnie with the last-ditch challenge, I suppose, before he let fly.
Well, this boy's not lacking in confidence, is he? He likes a shot.
We missed much of the season because he was away with the Argentinian under-20s in their South American Championship, which actually went awfully for Argentina, unusually. And they were subject to much criticism in the media back home, but whenever he's been given an opportunity, he has caught the eye. Down Zayat's throat. Free kick given for a push.
And Dean Marnie's arguing, saying he may have lost it in the sunlight and that's why he barged into the red shirt. I think it's a feeble excuse.
Well, Xavi Alonso, capable of scoring from this range. It falls for Benayoun. Zayat's block, can Count retrieve? And George Boateng there for Hull City. Just to carry the fight himself.
Just didn't have any options. That's why he loses possession.
But in typical George Boateng style, wins it back. He's played for Feyenoord, he's played for Coventry, he's played for Villa, he's played for Middlesbrough. He's never been relegated, George Boateng.
Well, that's an impressive CV. I'm sure he won't want it stained.
Certainly must have flirted with it at Coventry.
Well, you can rest assured he definitely, that's definitely the case.
Oh, Lucas lurking. Zayat, who's doesn't strike me as a player who's easily ruffled in those sorts of situations, dealing with it.
Well, I feel Zayat's been one of the players who's been unaffected by the poor run of form. Week in, week out, you generally get the same kind of performance from him. And he's the kind of player that's always been on the team sheet week in, week out for Phil Brown.
Here's Arbeloa. Well, 8 minutes to go to half-time. Close to scare for either side, really, that Torres effort, which produced a wonderful save from Myhill. Well, Hull did have a spell when they were really on top territorially. There weren't too many moments to seriously trouble Reina in the Liverpool goal. Benayoun. Arbeloa. Liverpool certainly need this breakthrough to come sooner or later. Nick Barmby in there again.
He's just lost for ideas. Arbeloa looking for options from his teammates, but there wasn't much movement.
Myhill back in the side. Long absence. This is Dean Marnie. Sam Ricketts joining in. Folan's found space. And coming in was Nick Barmby as well. It went over Folan's head.
It was a very good chance. Came in unopposed at that back post, and I don't think he got the contact that he was looking for.
Well, Boateng just won't give it up. There's a raging battle with Fernando Torres there, the Spaniard coming out the winner with the free kick.
A little frustration there as well from Torres. I think he knows, everybody knows how important this game is, and I'm sure they would have hoped and expected to be ahead by now. He's only had the one opportunity where Maya made a great save from him, but apart from that, he's been pretty quiet.
Oh, and well, Myhill and Zayat with the communication breakdown. This time we've seen a few of those at the Liverpool end.
Well, we were talking earlier about how unruffled Zayat has been in that back line. Obviously, Myhill didn't shout loud enough for him.
Well, he must have learnt keepers by now, although he was struggling with the language earlier in the season. Alonso's delivery. Can Benayoun pick this up? Successfully crowded out. Mascherano back in there. Insua can retrieve. Torres.
Just crowded out, isn't he there, Fernando Torres? I have to say, apart from a couple scares, Hull have defended very well as a team and not given Liverpool too much space to work in.
One slight worry for Liverpool at the moment is that Javier Mascherano is not moving as freely as he would wish to. Here he is on the ball now, but limping a touch.
Yeah, he's moving very gingerly, isn't he?
Such an important figure he's been since his arrival.
Be something they look at maybe at half-time. They have a few options, many options on the bench. They can always bring on a Riera in a wide area and slip Lucas back alongside Alonso.
We've talked about these statistical omens. The 19-year wait, is it to be ended by a 19th league title? I'm sure there will be at least one more major twist before the end, but it's been that sort of race, hasn't it?
It has been, and just talking about going back to the injury again with Mascherano, it could, in some way, could be a blessing in disguise, because I'm surprised still with how Benitez has got him set up. I felt Benayoun definitely would have played him behind Torres. And if he does make a change at half-time, could put Riera in that wide area and put Benayoun in that position. So it'll be something that he may look at.
Insua won that. Marnie returns the compliment. Lucas. Where can he go here?
Because that's the pressure that the manager is under now. He knows that they cannot drop points, so it's all about how are we going to score goals. Okay, he's so defensive-minded, but now he's got to always be on the offensive and looking how to break the deadlock in this game.
Liverpool have given it away here, and it's flighted in towards Folan. Wasn't set. Giovanni. And Liverpool escaped a little lightly there because they gave away possession pretty cheaply. It's Kevin Kilban to provide the long throws from this left-hand side. Back at left-back, which has been a reasonably familiar fate for him in the recent period of his career. Playing there more or less every week for Wigan come the end. And Kilban looking to nip in there. Forward by Kaut. Michael Turner takes control of the situation. Well, Fulham Getting a little nick there. Fagan lurking. Here's Marnie. In towards Barmby, who left it for Folan. Skirtles steps in. It's good ratting again from Boateng, plenty of that from him. Advantage played by the referee here. Mascherano wants the free kick, will get it.
That's an interesting decision. And the yellow card for the earlier challenge by Dean Marnie, I think it was.
Yep.
It was good refereeing to allow play to continue, but I'm not sure how much contact was made on Mascherano. Seemed to me that he may have gone down a little bit easily. Little kick by Boateng right at the end, but I think it was after Mascherano realised he'd lost possession.
He was already on the way down, wasn't he? But Dean Marnie going into the book for the earlier challenge on Ben Ayoun. And that's well within Xabi Alonso's capabilities to produce a special strike here. And again, oh, that is magnificent! Well, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again, and that was a stunning follow-up from Xabi Alonso to give Liverpool the lead right on the stroke of half-time.
Well, if the first effort was poor, the second was exceptional. It's a great strike by Xabi Alonso. A brilliant strike that goes through the wall. A disintegrated wall in the end, and gives Boaz Mayo absolutely no chance.
Well, that's what they were hoping for. They've had some difficult moments at the back. Hull City have been right up to the task this afternoon, but one piece of genuine top quality from Xabi Alonso has made the difference here. And timing could not have been better, really.
It is a real killer blow, right on the stroke of half-time. There hasn't been much between the sides, but that little bit of quality is the difference. If you go back to it, it's a fortunate free kick that was given by Martin Atkinson. It was a difficult decision for him in some ways. Now Mascherano went down, but I'm sure there'll be an argument from Phil Brown and the Hull City players for that decision.
Well, he's never too far away from an argument, is he, Phil Brown?
Well, it's been an interesting couple of weeks for him. Djibril Cissé scores a offside goal, and now this week the difference up to this point is a free kick that's given, a contentious free kick that's given. But Xabi Alonso didn't care about that. It was a brilliant, brilliant strike.
Well, Zayat trying to get free, and Rayner's in trouble, but inevitably, when a keeper's in trouble like that, the whistle blows.
Well, also, the injury. I think it's Giovanni's very, very brave in going in with a header afterwards. And he feels the full force of Lucas's boot, and hopefully it's not too bad, because it didn't look great on second inspection, but thankfully he's up on his feet. It wasn't the greatest of handling by Pepe Reina, but as you said, Daniel, inevitable that the referee blew his whistle.
The points are hard to come by at this time of year, but Liverpool have the advantage despite a spirited first half showing from Hull City. A superb strike on the follow-up from a disappointing free kick from Xabi Alonso, giving Liverpool the lead right on the stroke of half-time. But the home team will definitely dispute the manner of the award of that free kick in the first place, and a few of their players are doing so with the referee, as they leave the field at half-time. I think George Boateng going into the book there for his protest. So a stormy end to the first half here at the KC Stadium, but Liverpool have, Hull will feel, stolen the lead. Half-time, Hull City 0, Liverpool 1.
Bristol City 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Cardiff City 0, Ipswich Town 1, Coventry City 1, Watford 0, Derby County 0, Charlton and Breton 0, Doncaster Rovers 0, Crystal Palace 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0, Plymouth 0.
He didn't. Welcome back to the KC Stadium, where Hull City will feel they were unfortunate to go in at half-time behind. A controversial free-kick award, a sumptuous strike from Xabi Alonso, and major work to do for the home side. Well, the boot's on the other foot for Hull City. They were leading and had that lead pulled back by Liverpool at Anfield earlier in the season. Now they're the ones on the comeback trail. Controversially, though, a free kick which they felt should never have been awarded to Liverpool, eventually converted in stunning style by Xabi Alonso, and the furious protests at the end of the half leading to a booking for Nick Barmby.
You can rest assured it would have been a very upset and frustrated Hull dressing room. And it's how they react to that now. Do they feel sorry for themselves, or do they dust themselves down and give a positive response in this second half?
Giovanni looking to pick out Craig Fagan here, and he's succeeded. Sam Ricketts, Benayoun and Torres looking to make life difficult for the Welsh international. Xabi Alonso, another sparkling moment from him. Torres, he'll let fly.
Well, we know he has the quality. Arguments, is he the best striker in the Premier League? Is it him? Is it Drogba? I wouldn't mind playing with either of them. It's a decent start for Liverpool. They're on the front foot straight away.
And a painful start, as we saw there, for Javier Mascherano, who was moving a little awkwardly in the first half, and he pulled up a little after a little challenge there a few moments ago. He's having a little bit of a struggle, and Rafa Benitez inquiring. Well, they're doing their job so far, despite some difficulties. Not looking certain on set pieces. Now there's a story that's run and run throughout Rafael Benitez's reign at Anfield. Yossi Benayoun, an aggrieved party here.
Well, it's difficult for the officials also, you feel, this second half. The late challenge by Craig Fagan, because they may feel they've got that decision wrong in that first half. How the officialdom react in this second half, if there's any tight decisions, will be very interesting.
Well, Phil Brown, as you mentioned about the incident at Sunderland last week, the offside goal, which he was unhappy about, Djibril Cissé, which could still have such an impact on their season. He'll certainly feel they're due a bit of rub of the green from the officials and officialdom. And Pepe Reina on course for another clean sheet. 15 so far this season. He's been outgunned by Edwin van der Sar in that respect this season, although he has been the man leading the race for the Golden Glove by and large, since he's arrived on these shores.
Would you think that's what Rafa Benitez would have said to his team? Make sure you keep a clean sheet in the second half. Important for this game, and important for confidence, and important for the end of our season. We can continue to keep clean sheets from now on in. We know we have the quality in the offensive areas, and we continue to put the pressure on Man United if we do that.
Out to harm them today, Liverpool, but they can help Hull next week because Newcastle are the visitors to Anfield. Carragher seeking out Dirk Kuyt. Kevin Kilban policing him. Well, it's not unfamiliar territory, although it's not his natural position. Mind you, I think he's played just about anywhere in his career. Remember a spell at Everton where he was playing behind a main striker as well. Here's Kuyt. Mascherano will have a go.
It's very speculative from the Argentine midfielder. I think it's more in hope than belief.
No shortage of support for Hull City today, and it's the biggest crowd they've seen at the KC Stadium for this clash. Close to 25,000, and they're certainly making their voices heard in the Hull City cause.
And then again, Reina a little bit shaky. Done that a couple of times today with his kicking. Just brings undue pressure to the defence.
Pressure which Hull will seek to maintain here with Kevin Kilban's throw in, and Turner near post is usually the target for these. Beaten to it by Carragher. Giovanni, now where's that going to drop? It doesn't matter because the offside flag is up against Fagan from Darren Cann on this near side.
Well, I think it was a shot from Giovanni that inadvertently turned out for a decent ball for Craig Fagan, but he was in an offside position.
Well, the man who he's hoping to follow in the footsteps of, being linked with a return to Anfield, Kenny Dalglish, the last Liverpool boss to win a title, and talks about a position with the club at the moment.
I'm sure for the likes of Steven Gerrard, and if he's involved with the youth development, he'll be a great icon to have in the football club, and just to have him around the training ground and on match day be inspiring for them. So it'll be a great addition for them.
Hull City hoping to add to the scoreline here. It's Carragher who wins it. It's Ricketts who's trying to pick up the pieces here, being pursued by Yossi Benayoun. But he's managed to work an opportunity to wind up a long throw again. Fagan. We worked an opportunity for a long throw but didn't use it.
Well, a little bit silly there. Sam Ricketts got to work out that obviously Craig Fagan's going to be in an offside position. I'm sure Phil Brown will just keep on rallying his troops, telling them, let's give a good response in this second half. You never know, we might just be able to claim a draw out of it. We'll take that, and we'll be very happy if we can achieve that.
Well, it's not just Hull City who are facing a testing top four fixture this weekend. Middlesbrough, of course, go to Arsenal tomorrow. So you wouldn't expect Middlesbrough to pick up points at the Emirates, although Arsene Wenger hasn't beaten Gareth Southgate as a manager.
That's a surprising stat. At the end of the season, there's so much pressure involved that there can be surprising results. See Kevin Kilban just being pushed by Dirk Kuyt. Correct decision by Martin Atkinson.
Was well versed in the thickest of battles against Liverpool. Kevin Kilbane, having played in umpteen Merseyside derbies, won a couple. Fagan rising, but not to the effect he hoped. It's his longest run in the side this season at the moment. This is his 7th start in a row. Of course, had that horrible injury up at Newcastle when Danny Guthrie lost his head earlier in the season.
Well, I feel he won't change much for now. Obviously frustrated, Phil Brown, but I'm sure he'll say, just keep on giving us the same effort, commitment.
And Skirtle in control of that situation there for Liverpool. And Lucas and Giovanni involved in a little tangle. That's Alonso finding Mascherano. Seems for the moment to have shaken off that knock. Lucas. Alonso. Arbeloa. Freed away Matt Kout to help him. Kilbane to shut the door temporarily at least. But Arbeloa's in here. Might drop for Torres! And when it drops to Torres, you know that spells danger.
Well, it was such a difficult chance. Little interchange between Kuyt, and then it falls to him from the tackle on Arbeloa, and it's such a difficult opportunity, and he nearly makes a great effort out of it, just goes over the crossbar.
It was probably about a quarter of a chance, wasn't it?
Well, that's why he's such a great striker. The Spaniard just needs one opportunity, and you know he has the quality to take it.
Here's Benayoun. Turner stepping in. Assured play by the man who's been talked of in England terms. Nick Barmby, a man who knows all about that.
You just feel now that Liverpool, with that 1-0 lead, are more confident, more comfortable in possession, more composed with their passing. That's what the goal has brought to them.
Again dictating proceedings. Skirtle, Arbeloa. He's made up a lot of ground there, the fullback, and his opposite number in Insua on that left-hand side joining in as well. Mascherano. And a breakdown with Arbeloa there. Well, nervous times, not just for those on the playing staff, of course, but those in the boardroom as well. Paul Duffin, who was talking, the chairman, about pushing on for Europe just before Christmas. His goals have certainly changed.
Well, I think he may have been a little bit starry-eyed, but I think if he's being realistic, and he'll know himself, it was about keeping their Premier League status this season. Anything more than that would have been a major bonus. And even today's game, they would have looked at it and said, if we get something out of it, brilliant. But we'll look at the next 4 fixtures, more importantly, the next 3. And if we can get points out of those games, then that could go a long way in keeping our Premier League status.
Barmby absolutely everywhere at the moment. And staying up would be as good as Wembley was last year for Hull City. Here's Kout, might open up for him here. A whole cluster of bodies, Barmby and Zayat, between them getting a block on. Folan comes out the winner there. Marnie. Ricketts. Fagan. And Folan being blocked off by Skirtle now. He lashed out a little there, Folan. And he's off. Well, Hull City's hopes surely extinguished there. A red card for Caleb Folan, and they've got to play over half an hour with 10 men.
Well, I alluded to the officials being under a lot of pressure in this second half, but I'm very surprised with that decision. A red card for that. And that's why you always look at the reaction of the players and the teammates, and they're very surprised also. And on second viewing, you have to say it is a great spot and a great decision. The kick there on Skirtle is out of order and shouldn't be on a football pitch. And if it is the assistant who spots that, or it's Martin Atkinson, it's great officialdom.
Well, Caleb Folan has only got himself to blame, and while Hull City clearly feel aggrieved at the moment towards the referee, when they see that a little later, they'll realise he didn't have any choice at all.
He gets a block off from Skirtle. Skirtle knows what he's doing. He's doing a rightful thing, what a defender should do in that situation, just blocking the attacker, but the striker, Caleb Folan, cannot react like that.
Well, it's utter folly. And while it's certainly fired up the home support, it really has left Hull in something approaching an impossible position, and tempers are really boiling over. Skirtle caught late by Fagan this time, and a yellow card.
You have to be very, very careful. A little silly from Craig Fagan. Sure, a little hot-headed at the moment. Tempers are running high. Slips initially and then just puts in innocuous challenge, but a little cheeky one, and he shouldn't have done that. Not just because of today, but the future. It's a squad game and they've lost their striker, and they need to stay in the Premier League, so they have to be very, very careful with the options that Phil Brown will have.
Well, there are plenty losing their heads at the moment. Absolutely deafening noise around the KC, but it's Liverpool on the attack. Oh, Zaya!
Brilliant defending. That touch just takes it away from Fernando Torres, because he's lurking and waiting to get on the end of that to make it 2-0. And it's brilliant defending.
Well, a challenge he had to make, and it ended up, it worked out all right for him. Well, double change, Bernard Mendy and Daniel Kuzan, who's not long back from injury, returned to the bench last week. And Barnby, well, there was always a likelihood he wouldn't last the full 90, despite the prodigious efforts, or perhaps because of them, that he's put in today.
Very sensible management to make those couple of substitutions, just in terms of the future also.
Benayoun, Alonso. He wanted offside there, but Benayoun had stayed on. Might drop for Skirtle here, and counts! Finishes it off for Liverpool, and they are still fighting hard for this Premier League title. Manchester United will have to do everything they can.
Well, it's a fortunate end. It's a shot from Skirtle that gets wrong, but the fox in the box, he reacts very well and gets on the end of the effort. Inadvertently drops to him, and he finishes it well. Game over. Skirtle with the effort, and then Kaut says thank you very much.
Keeping his head while many about him have been losing theirs. And Liverpool cannot lose this lead. He picked up by Lucas. It'll fall for Kout here. If Hull aren't careful, it could be much worse for them, but Giovanni will steal it back. Well, whenever there's a foul by a Liverpool player, they're going to be baying for blood.
They are. And I just wonder the amount of times Liverpool have been in 4-4s. Should I be saying game over? But 10 men, and as long as everybody's sensible, and as I say that Arbeloa gets a yellow card, I'm not sure if it's for the reaction or the challenge, but as long as Liverpool are very sensible, you wouldn't envisage Hull getting back in this game when they're down to their 10 men.
Giovanni to deliver. Where's that going to drop? Just need a break of the ball in the box to Hull City. But Turner concedes the free kick.
You just feel that Martin Atkinson may just need a bodyguard or two when he leaves this stadium.
Well, let's make it clear, he's done nothing wrong.
He's done nothing wrong whatsoever, but the reaction of the home faithful has not been great. But when they go home and look at the viewing, there's a hint of a handball by Lucas, but the ball's so close to him when it comes down and he has no time to react, but Kout finishes it brilliantly.
Kuzan rampaging forward there for Hull. Suddenly the sunshine has disappeared and there's a very different atmosphere around the KC Stadium at the moment. Liverpool in firm control against 10-man Hull City. This is Mascherano. Arbeloa, Kout lets it run. Marnie, Mascherano's efforts, and there'll be more defending for Hull City to do.
Yeah, it would be damage limitation. I'm sure they realise that, but they have to continue to work tirelessly for one another. I think the officials have been very good. Okay, the people will argue with the Kout header, say it hit the arm of Lucas, but I think it happened so quickly, he had no chance of reacting to it. The sending off decision was the right one. I think it was maybe the defining moment of the game for Phil Brown will be the first goal.
Was pulled back for Insua to hit. Oh, no shortage of confidence from the young man.
It must be his third or fourth effort. Getting closer, but still hasn't been able to test Boaz Myhill. I'm sure he won't care about that. His team have a 2-0 lead.
Well, Alan Shearer and Ian Dowie on a scouting mission ahead of their trip to Anfield next week. Kuzan overcooking it, but Giovanni could still make something of it. He's always capable of producing it. That's a terrific cross, and Reina in a bit of trouble. Insua too. And Lucas to bail them out.
Oh, Reina was very, very nervous. I feel it was more composed defending from Insua. He knew exactly what he was doing in heading it down to a teammate in an awkward area, but very comfortable and very confident in his defending. But there's still a nervousness about Pepe Reina, probably because of all the goals he's conceded lately.
Well, it can't do a keeper any good confidence-wise to see the ball flying past him, as it did several times from Andre Arshavin. He also had a hand in that Didier Drogba goal at Stamford Bridge, which was a significant one in that 4-4.
What do you think against the 10 men of Hull? You'd be able to keep a clean sheet. You'd think they'll pose their biggest threat now from set pieces, but they're going to find it very difficult to get up the field and keep possession in good areas.
And Martin Skirtle is flavour of the month on Humberside. This is Benayoun, victory chorus from the Liverpool support, although there's still, what, a quarter of the match to go. For all the drama of recent weeks, you just can't see Liverpool throwing this away. Benayoun. Torres. Well, one away from the 50th, and he's had a few efforts. That not up to the general standard.
Well, unfortunately for him, the ball just takes a little bounce just before he takes his shot. The ball laid back by Benayoun. It's not along the grass, just steps up off the surface and makes the chance much more difficult.
One by Mendy, there's Skrtel. Mendy again, Cousin. Break of the ball has favoured Hull here. Cousin, Giovanni, such a tight space. Now then, what's the decision there? Carragher seemingly with an arm out and a free kick right on the edge.
Well, Jamie Carragher feels that he's just holding his ground and just shepherding off Giovanni. There's a hint of an elbow, maybe more of a hand, just a hand off to Giovanni, and he definitely makes the most of it. Gives them an opportunity, the free kick in a dangerous area.
Well, it's not quite plumb in the same spot, but more or less.
The difficulty for Reina will it be a left-footed strike or a right? They'll have the option of the two. Giovanni or Kilban.
Kilban's left foot. Giovanni, like Alonso, so capable of brilliance from this sort of range. It is Giovanni, again it's the wall, the follow-up strike, not up to Xabi Alonso's standards, and Liverpool swarming forward now. Benayoun, Mascherano hadn't stayed onside.
Yeah, decent decision, just half a yard, he just went too early. Mascherano, his eagerness to get in behind the whole back line.
Offside here against Bernard Mendy at the other end, but that could so easily have resulted in a third, because I think there were about 7-on-2 there for Liverpool.
I think if it was a striker, he wouldn't have been offside. I think it was because it was Mascherano, and he knows he may have been just slightly lacking in a bit of pace. You know, he hasn't got the pace of Torres, and that's why he was eager to get away from the whole back line.
Xabi Alonso, the man who started it all from an admittedly controversial free kick. Insua. Benayoun. Ricketts getting the challenge in. Giovanni to pick up the pieces here. Ricketts. Insua doing well. Well, less than 20 minutes. Liverpool's grip a firm one. Dirk Kuyt adding the insurance goal, really. After Xabi Alonso's first. Benayoun. Ricketts standing up. This is Mendy. That's a very ambitious ball and a very good one for Daniel Cousin. Marnie up in the box with him. Cousin gets it across. Giovanni! There's life yet in Hull City. 18 minutes for them to save it.
Brilliant play. Ended with a simple finish, but it was all about the approach play. Great diagonal ball, 60, 70 yards, right into the path of Daniel Cousin. And when he's one-on-one, he has the pace to get away from Skrtel and puts it into a great area. And Giovanni, does anybody want to score a goal? Giovanni does, he gambles. He has the desire to get into the 6-yard box. And it's a very good, simple finish at the end of it.
Well, you were right, Dean. It was a little dangerous to say game over.
Famous last words. Well, I'll be haunted by it. You feel, and you would think, and Rafa Benitez will hope, Liverpool have the quality to see this game out. And I'm sure it'll be inexplicable if they concede 2 against 10 men.
Stranger things, as they say. This is Benayoun. What's Liverpool's response like? It's been good in territorial and possession terms straight away. This is Kout. Could still be kept alive by Lucas. It didn't go out of play. One or two Hull supporters thought it did. This is Insua. Alonso. Well, look at the desire there from Bernard Mendy. Admittedly, his legs are much fresher than most.
So encouraging for Phil Brown. The response and the work rate and the commitment and the team spirit that Hull is showing.
And Insua rather unceremoniously dumping Sam Ricketts to the deck, but Giovanni, not a player who has always embodied a work ethic, I suppose, but certainly has today, and the great challenge a moment ago, and his goal has given Hull City genuine belief. Actually only scored 1 in 21 before today. It's timely return to goal scoring form.
Well, we talked about it right from the start of the game in terms of him being a very important player for them. He's their top goal scorer. He's the one who provides generally the most threats. So you like to see him around that penalty box as much as possible for them. And he'll be the most important player, I feel, for them if they're going to stay in the Premier League.
Alonso. Torres. Arbeloa. Into Mascherano. Torres. Oh, he's picked out Lucas here. This is a chance! It was a great opportunity for his first Premier League goal, but I think it was Giovanni who got back to him.
Why doesn't he take it with his left foot? The first touch is decent. Swing the left. He declines that, takes it with the outside of the right. And it's a poor finish.
Could that be a costly miss? Carragher up, and he was caught by Mendy in the aerial duel. Real battle on there between Turner and Torres. Up goes Kilban. Alonso. Lucas. Passed up a real opportunity to kill this match stone dead, and Rafa Benitez has plenty to worry about. Kilban away.
That's a problem Hull have. Just like that chance there for Lucas. Tired legs because they've worked so hard for each other. You feel there still will be more opportunities there for the Liverpool attack. It's just whether they take them.
Lucas crowded out there.
Look at that, 3-4 Hull players trying to close down Liverpool when they're in possession.
Well, it's the sort of performance you feel will surely get Hull some reward if they can replicate it in some of the games that follow. Here's Mascherano.
Just keep the ball. He has the option with Benayoun out wide. That's all they need to do. Just keep on passing the ball, running the legs off Hull. Good play. It's whipped across. It's a very simple finish, but you still got to be ice cold. And when you want that composure, there's no other better man than Giovanni in this whole team to provide it.
Well, he's played Liverpool 4 times before. He has never been on the losing side, and there's still a chance.
We will see, Daniel, we will see. I'm sure the whole supporters are very happy with the response. I think more importantly for Phil Brown, he'll be looking at the games after today and saying, yes, I've got definitely something to work with.
Here's Kout. Or Torres looking to rise! Well, that could have been game over.
It'll be cruel. But we know that Liverpool are going to get opportunities. They're playing against the 10 men. Cow provides a decent cross to the back post. It's a very good header, and it's unfortunate for Torres that it comes back off the crossbar. Mael beaten. The bar comes to the rescue.
Well, sacrificing their midfield protector for Manuccio, the front man. Now then, wouldn't that be an irony? On loan from Manchester United.
24,942. Thank you for your...
Well, they have to go for it, Hull City. Try and get that precious point. And Torres was crowded out as Count attempted the layoff. This is Manuccio. Has played in the Premier League for United this season, just the one game.
Well, it would be the stuff of dreams if he managed to get an equaliser.
This is Mascherano foraging. Giovanni's almost omnipresent at the moment, he's everywhere.
He is, he's buoyed also by that goal. He just, I was taught from a young age, always just pass and move, get it into wide areas when you're playing against those 10 men. Liverpool have been brought up with that adage, with that pass and move. So you would feel that's what they'll do in this last 10 or so minutes of this game.
Lucas looking to get up. Can Torres keep this alive? Back in it goes. Ricketts on the end of it. Marnie. It's done well. Up to Cousin. Lucas close at hand. Well, Lucas won the battle, but Cousin may well win the war here.
Great little bit of skill from Daniel Cousin also to keep possession for his team. Going to feel that they're going to need a little bit more of that. Attackers coming back to defend for their team. That's been the shining light for this whole performance. The team spirit and the work rate for one another. It's been exceptional.
Skirtle. Manuccio's presence a concern for the man from Slovakia. Carragher. Alonso. Eight and a half minutes on my watch, plus stoppages. Counter pressing hard there to try and achieve something. Stop hole at source. Mendy popping up on that left-hand side.
I just feel Rafa will be a little bit frustrated. They haven't passed it well enough and got it into wide areas. And just kept the ball well enough.
Well, Skirtle's aghast. Sorry, Dean. Skirtle aghast at the free kick award there. Foul on Manuccio.
It gives them the opportunity to get big players forward like Zayat, Turner. Now they also have Manuccio on. So they have some options in there and a bit of height.
Giovanni to float it. Reyna's struggling. Well, he did enough in the end.
It wasn't convincing though, was it?
Well, is it going to be one of those pivotal days in the title race? And at the bottom. Still time. The odds stacked against. Only 10 men. Rightly so. But they do now have something to cling to, some belief. And no surprise Liverpool are taking their time at the moment over everything.
You wouldn't have thought it, would you? That they would have 11 v 10 and they'll be taking their time and not being able to have the monopoly of possession against the 10 men. The one thing they don't want to do is give Hull the opportunity to have set pieces around the 18-yard box.
And Torres penalised for that. Hull City in a mood to get on with it swiftly, but they'll pile as many bodies forward as they can. There's going to be a Liverpool change, and Mascherano, who's been struggling a touch, moving awkwardly at times throughout this game, is going to depart. Nabil Elzar making an entrance. The young Moroccan, who's slowly but surely gaining a foothold in this Liverpool squad. He's been around for quite a while now. Mendy, Mascherano's chaperone there. I'm not sure that was on friendly terms.
Well, I think that tells you everything about what's going on at the moment. The 10 men of Hull are hurrying up the Liverpool team.
Kuzan was up. Who got the final touch? It was a Liverpool touch. It's another set piece. Another threat. Minuccio went up, Reina was again not wholly convincing, and it cannoned back off Xabi Alonso and could have landed absolutely anywhere.
Well, whenever it's gone into his 6-yard box, he's looked very frail. And that will definitely encourage Hull.
Dirk Kuyt getting a good header on that. Foul by Torres.
And there may only be 5 or so minutes, but they'll continue to look to continue to get set pieces in the last third of the pitch and hope something will fall through them.
Zayat up, Minuccio foraging in there. Jamie Carragher up to Dirk Kuyt. Giovanni right at the back there.
Well, that's the other side of the coin. They're always going to be susceptible to the counter-attack.
Surely offside against Torres, indeed it is. Towards Turner, trying to cause trouble. Benayoun away. Torres onto Elzar. Torres down on the ground after the challenge, but Elzar goes on. Support from Arbeloa. It'll fall for Dirk Kuyt here. Well, no real need to do anything other than keep hold of it. Torres fires it in.
It's a difficult angle for him. Don't feel he has much chance of beating Boaz Moyal from there.
Well, this is a substitution that tells you everything you need to know, really, about the way this game has been in the last few minutes. Yossi Benayoun off, Daniel Agger surely on to add a little bit of extra aerial presence at the set pieces, which keep raining down into that Liverpool penalty box.
Well, he's just going to shore up that defence. Now it becomes 5-3-2, and I emphasise the 5 at the back. It's not going to be 3-5-2. I feel it will be 5. He'll just play alongside Carragher and Skirtle, and have Insua and Arbeloa in the wide areas, and then Alzar just supplement the midfield.
Kuzan trying to make his presence felt. Away by Skirtle.
And it'll only become the 2 if Kuyt wants to go alongside Alonso. More often than not, it'll be 5-4-1. And you feel that's how they'll end the game, with those 4 midfielders just protecting those 5 and just saying to Torres, be the spearhead of our counter-attacks.
Zayat winning that. Alonso. Kevin Kilban. Skirtle. Kilban following up as well, but now he's going to be caught out of position. It's Elzar. Although Giovanni, who's been policing, back there to help out. Kaut. Alonso. Oh, he spotted Arbeloa. 3 in the area with Arbeloa here. Deflection and Kaut. Well, we hesitated to say game over before, but it certainly is now. Dirk Kuyt, as we head for the 90th minute, secures the Liverpool victory and secures top spot temporarily in the Premier League.
Well, it's cruel, cruel justice for all the effort that Hull have put in. They get punished. Again, it's a deflection that falls to Dirk Kuyt, and he punishes them for it. It's a good finish, a composed finish, but Mayo flicks it away and is there again to put it into an empty net. I can safely say, game over.
Well, Kaut takes his tally up to 13, marking his 100th Premier League appearance in style. And now Dossena enters the fray. Two-goal salvo from Dirk Kuyt, the key. Andrea Dossena, Liverpool's most expensive defender in their history, making his way on. Well, 4 minutes. Well, 1 would be manageable for the 10 men, surely 2 is not.
It's rough for Hull, rough justice and cruel justice, and it's disappointing for them that they're on the end of a 3-1 scoreline. But so many facets of their performance will be so encouraging for Phil Brown. And he has lots to work on and to work with for them to retain their Premier League status. And I feel on this performance, they can definitely achieve that.
Marnie. Ricketts is off and running here.
Just the one ingredient missing for Phil Brown and his team over the last couple of weeks. Which you need, it's luck. And that one ingredient has been missing for him. And he'll hope he gets a little bit of that in the last 4 weeks of the season.
Kilban to flight it in. Insua to win it. This is Dean Marnie. Now, terrific noise from both sets of supporters inside the KC Stadium. And they will feel in the final analysis the first goal from a free kick shouldn't have been given in their view. There was more than a hint of handball in the second one, and a deflection falling cruelly in the build-up to the third. And while they may debate the sending off and feel they were hard done by in that respect as well at the moment, on the viewing later, they'll surely have to accept that that one was fully correct. Keep the ball in the corner, and it gains a positive response from a Liverpool perspective, and a corner that is unlikely to travel too far towards that penalty area. Skirtle. Arbeloa. Lucas. Alonso. Mendy still battling hard. Lucas. Gilban in the way this time. Now Marnie for Hull City.
You feel that may have been the last Liverpool attack. He wouldn't have wanted another goal for Hull to concede, so hopefully they can keep this 3-1 scoreline with their 10 men.
A little remaining. Here's Insua. Into Dosena. Torres lurking. But Myhill in control, and well, the 4 minutes of added time up. It is victory for Liverpool. They keep pressing hard in this race for the Premier League title, but a hard task it certainly was today at times. A 2-goal salvo from Dirk Kuyt in the second half to add to a tremendous strike from Xabi Alonso in the first. But Giovanni sparked a stirring Hull response, and they certainly showed the character they're going to need in this relegation fight. Martin Atkinson's decisions will certainly be disputed by those in Hull colours. Controversy in at least 2 of the goals, and a sending off which shouldn't really be disputed but might be in the post-match inquest. Liverpool move ahead, at least temporarily, of Manchester United in the Premier League. Sir Alec Ferguson, it's over to you. The final score, Hull City 1, Liverpool 3.
Doncaster Rovers 2, Crystal Palace 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0, Penarth 0, Sheffield United 1, Swansea City 0, Southampton 2, Burnley 2. The next match at the KC Stadium is on Saturday, May the 9th. Hull City versus Stoke City in the Barclays Premier League. Kick-off 3 p.m. We'd love to see you here. On behalf of the fans.
Welcome to Special One TV. You've been doing it on me all week like there was no tomorrow. Talking about so-called game of century, 4-all, Chelsea-Liverpool. 1 in from Ben. Jose, what a week for Chelsea. And 2 goals for Frank Lampard. Incredible. Of course, Ben. Why not? I created Lamps. I remember exact moment as if it were yesterday. Lamps.
Jose. Yeah?
You are the greatest midfielder in the world.
What?
Very nice, Lamps. Also, great week for Man U. 1 in from Hillary. Can you ask Wayne how the boy Makeda is settling in? Wayne?
Yeah, everybody at the club has really taken to Federico.
I don't like him.
Fox in the box, lethal from close range there.
But I scored rocket against Porto.
He's a good-looking lad as well.
He has no six-pack.
He even tracks back, which is practically unheard of from a young starlet.
From 40 yards, I scored the goal. He's no six-pack. I kick him in the...
Whole career ahead of him there, like.
Very good. Also, Sham829RT has been tweeting me senseless. Very nice, Barak. Special puppy Bo is Portuguese water dog. But of course, yes, congratulations, Mr. President, on your choice of new canine. He is second most fantastic thing to come out of Portugal.
Well, we all know what the first is. The road to Spain.
Oh, look, another tweet just in. The news. My top story. Goose Hiddink has said he will leave Chelsea Football Club at the end of season. After leaking an incredible 7 goals at home in the last week, it now seems more certain than ever that the position will become vacant, enabling the appointment of what insiders are calling a very special manager. Wayne?
Yeah, thanks. This week, in my continuing series of reports on how the recession is affecting football, I visited the local dole office and talked to people at the coalface of unemployment. So how long have you been out of work?
About 5 months now.
Don't.
Just looking for a start.
Any particular region of the country?
No, I'll take anything at this stage.
Really?
Yeah, even Scotland.
And what's the biggest challenge you face?
Boredom.
Yeah.
Credit to the boy Colombo and his forensic attention to detail. But I don't think I could stomach another episode.
You were working in the Newcastle area?
Yeah, that's right. That ended, so my mate Danny suggested the Nat King goal.
And you say you were working abroad?
Yes, but there were problems and... why am I not behind the blur?
The what?
The blur. They can see my face. Come back. Well.
Very, very sad. Oh. Emergency text. Please call me. The voyeur has no call credit. Pathetic. Do it.
Hello?
Why have you no call credit, voyeur?
I have plenty of call credit.
And you still get me to call you? You have outstingied yourself now, voyeur. Line 2.
Why you make headline about Hiddink leaving?
Because he is leaving.
He stay.
After conceding 4 goals at home, I could not stay.
4 goals, no problem.
For Potato it was problem. I saw it. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4.
No more games.
Line 3, JT.
Jose, mate, I love you to death, but Potato's got to stay, mate.
To make amends after conceding 4 goals at home, JT?
No, I don't want him to stay because of that.
Exactly. You don't want him to stay.
Sorry, no, what?
JT, get off phone. He will kill you.
Line 4, Didier. Where do you stand?
No, Gaffel, I'm confused now.
Did you enjoy the pastry?
Pastry?
You were doing so much rolling on Wednesday, I thought you were making the pastry. You were like human rolling pin.
Drogba, get off phone.
Shut up, big boss. Line 5.
Yeah, why are you making Mitzi arguing?
Shut up, Balak.
Gaffel.
Shut up, Drogba. Line 2.
Yeah, I just wanted to take back something I said in your report earlier.
About Colombo?
No, not Colombo. About possibly working in Scotland.
Very good.
Moment of madness. My apologies.
Very nice, Roy.
Thank you.
Line 1, Mr. Alex. We are almost out of time.
Yeah, I was just wondering, have you thought about making a wee puppet of the boy Makeda? Quality player.
That's not a bad idea, Gaffer.
Shut up, Mr. Alex.
Ronnie.
Sven, what's with the keffia?
Well, with Man City going out...
I cannot believe it. You are now re-pimping yourself.
No, I just thought that it would be nice...
Shut up, Sven. Be champions.